Hi everyone and welcome. Just bringing you guys up on my Facebook or YouTube channel. Okay. Gonna close out of the chat for a minute so I can share my video. Give people a few minutes to get here. Okay. All right. Hello and welcome. If you are here, please leave a comment in the description box below so that you can have a chance at winning this card. I draw a winner. I drew 2 weeks ago, and when I get done here, I will draw last week's winner. So, and I post them on YouTube under the communication button. So if you go under the communication button on my YouTube page, you will see everybody that wins them there. So that way everybody knows. And if you don't look it up and you win, then you'll be surprised and you'll get a card in the mail. So how exciting will that be? So yes, so I thought I would bring out an oldie but a goodie, the Merry Moose stamp set. And this one was last season's. It was so popular, very, very popular, that they brought it back again this year. And they told us to save our set. And they told people because that they knew they were going to bring this back because so many people loved it. So I'm glad that they did. And I'm really excited and to be playing with this stamp set today. So we're going to be using this stamp set, the Merry Moose stamp set, plus we are going to be using the Perfect Plaid stamp set, but we're only going to use this stamp right down there, the tree. So I'm going to just jump right in, but before I do, I want to give you guys a little bit of housekeeping. And that means today is the end of the month in September. So I want to remind you, if you haven't joined your Paper Pumpkin group, you have till the 10th to get the Joy to the World. And there's a link in the description box below if you'd like to join that and more information. I'd also like to let you guys know you have till the 10th if you'd like to join my Autumn Goodness online class workshop. And where if you do use this hostess code at the bottom, it's A7PKQJM. And what you have to do is you have to order the Autumn Goodness bundle. So just have to order the stamp and the bundle, and then I'll send you the supplies to recreate the card. But you have to sign up by the 10th. Today is the last day to receive the Creative Cardiology team tutorials. This was for nature. And if you would like to receive this tutorial, all you have to do is purchase any amount from me, and it is yours for free. And then today's the very last day to get the Get and Go promotion starter kit. So if you'd like to join my team, I'd appreciate it. And the link below, or below this description, you can go to bonniescreativeplace.stampinup.net and you can order the kit. And you get the 2 stamps, the gems, and the paper. And I'd love to have you on my team. And last but not least, starting tomorrow, Stampin' Up! Is going to have their designer series sale that they usually have every year. You get 15% off. It's from the 1st till the 31st of October. And there is several different DSP paper. I will have more information on this over on my blog later today or on my Facebook page. So make sure you check it out there. So, okay, let's get going. See, there's a little bit of a lag on my end here. So once everything catches up, you guys, I'm not going to wait. I'm just letting you know you guys are going to keep going. Yada, yada, yada. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. So let's bring in a few products that we're going to be working with today. We need, for this card, some Scrap Whisper White for the greeting. We need some Scrap Whisper White for the moose. We need some Scrap Whisper White for the tree. And then we need a piece of Scrap Whisper White for the circle. Now we need a base card that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 in the middle of Whisper White. Then we need a piece of real red that is 4 by 5 1/4. Then we need some designer series paper. And this paper came out of the 'Tis the Season 6x6 DSP paper. And this piece is 3 inches by 5 1/4. And then we need a little piece of shaded spruce. And this piece is 4 by 1 inch. And so we need these pieces to finish our card. So we're going to put them over there. I brought out the Stamparatus today because I figured this is a perfect card to do this with the Stamparatus. So I'm going to bring my Merry Moose little pad back in here. I'm putting this between the 2 and the 4 inch. And if you've watched any of my tutorials, I like to leave it in a little bit. So I start right here. If you watched any of my quick tips tutorials. Okay. And I cut that off. So I'm going to go over a little bit just to make sure. I just freehand it. So it was a little crooked there. Now I am going to be using the spots. I just haven't labeled this one, but this is Crumb Cake. And this is So Saffron. I'm going to be using the little Stampin' Spots. And I think next month there is a quick tip and trick on how I'm using this and doing this next Monday. So make sure you check that out. I just think the spots are a lot easier to use on your Stamparatus. So, okay, set this up over there, and then we're going to stamp this down just like so. Sorry, if you hear the squeaking of the door, my daughter seems to think that she could keep walking in and out. So, anyways, sorry for any noise in the background right now. Homeschools and everything, it's really crazy. All right, hopefully that didn't move too much on me. Oops. Let's just try to keep it right there. I'm going to double check this one before I stamp it. Looks like it might be able to go that way. Just a tad bit. Let me double check it because I don't want it to... Okay, I think that might be good. it did move on me a little bit there. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this little thing to my So Saffron, and I'm going to stamp up the little deer up here, and I'm going to make sure I get them really good. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp this down. Pray that I got it where it was supposed to be, that I didn't mess it up too much. Oh, it's off a little bit, but you know what? I'm going to keep it. I think it gives it a little character. So I probably moved it a couple too many times, but it does work wonderful, as you could tell in the first one that I did. So, all right, we're going to get this thing out of the way. But before I do that, I do want to clean up my stamps. So I'm going to take, and I probably shouldn't have moved it at all. I'm taking just a wet baby wipe. You can use the orange sponge, whatever you want to do. I'm just dabbing these for now, and then I'll come back later and really clean them up and so on. So we'll get this out of our way. Okay. So now we have him. Now let's do our other stamping quick before we do any of our punching. And then that way we'll have all our stamping out of the way. And then we can put this together. So I am taking the shaded spruce green. And I'm stamping up this tree, this plaid tree that is in the Perfectly Plaid stamp set that I showed you in the beginning. And I'm just making sure, I want to make sure I have my mat down. And I'm just going to stamp this fairly hard in the middle. There you go. So now we have a beautiful tree stamped out. Now let's get our little piece here. And we're done with the shaded spruce. We can put that right away. Now I'm going to bring in the Merry Moose, and I'm stamping this in the black. And this is just about a 1/2 inch piece of scrap paper. And there's a glare, so I'm hoping I can get this right on here where I want it. We will try. We have a couple chances at it anyways. There we go. And I like that. So now we're done with the black, so we can get rid of that. And I am going to just take my scissors, and I'm just going to stamp this. I'm going to cut this off to the side. I just want it very little. So I'm going to put that right there so we don't lose them. And while we've got our red here, and I'm going to bring in the 2.5 inch circle punch. I'm going to bring that in, and I'm just going to punch us one of these out. Okay. Now and I'm going to punch this too while I have it. And then I'll show you what I did. I did this stitching. And this is 1 inch. And so it goes in kind of, sometimes goes in a little tight, but it does go in there. Just give it, and just flip it over. Make sure it's even. And then give it a punch. And then do the same thing with the other side. Kind of give it like a little flag bannery look. And do this. And give it a little punch. So we have that. So we can get rid of this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a gel pen. Now I did this after I did the card. I don't recommend it, but after it felt like it needed just something a little bit more. So I'm going to do this now when you should do it. So this is just a regular gel pen. You can get them like everywhere. they sell gel pens, so yeah. And I'm just going to stamp and skip and, you know, and just do whatever. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this circle one. There we go. And then we'll set them aside for a minute. And now we're going to bring in our Merry Moose punch. And I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to line it all up. I'm going to punch him out. And then I'm going to bring in the Christmas tree punch with the plaid, perfectly plaid punch. It does come with the tree punch, as it came with the tree punch as a bundle. And so you can get the punch with the, I don't know, it may still be a bundle, I don't remember. But both of these, if you order the Merry Moose, you could get the moose punch to go with it, and the perfectly plaid stamp set, you can get the tree to go with it. Okay, so now we're going to start putting a few things together here. Take some Stampin' Seal, and we're just going to run this down through here. And you could either have like a little bit on this side, you know, more, whatever you want to do. But I decided kind of eyeball in here, using the grid a little bit, about a ½ inch on each side. Roughly. So there we go. And then I went ahead and I took some twine and some linen thread here. And I want to let you know, after this, if you're watching this video on the replay, there will be a little red or pink square down in the right hand corner. If you could click that and subscribe to my video, that will be great. There should be a subscribe button someplace on my video or below it that you can do. There's a little bell to notify you whenever I upload. That would, and all that stuff really supports me. If you would like to order any of the product that I'm using, you can go to bonniescreativeplace.stampinup.net and you can just order. And if you'd use this host code TPD7MGQ7, that would be great. And it's good until October 8th. So I just added 2 pieces of linen thread on there. And now we can apply this down flat. Let's see, one of my threads came up there. There we go. And then I just kind of centered this the best I could. There we go. And now we're going to take the little banner piece that I made, and we're going to add a couple pieces of about 3 little Stampin' Dimensionals here. And I don't know, I think I went about that far up on the card. So there we go. And then I went ahead and I took my circle and I just put one at the top and one at the bottom. there. I'm just gonna, I like the circle. I don't like it centered. I have it off centered, so closer to this part of the banner. Then I'm going to use some liquid glue and a mini dimensional. I'm taking a mini dimensional and I'm putting it right at the top of my tree, right there. And then I'm just going to take some liquid glue. This is liquid Tombow glue right here. I just put it into these smaller bottles because when it gets to the end of that bottle, it's harder for me to squeeze the glue out. And this is easier, smaller, thinner bottle. And that's the only reason why I have it. And then I just stuck that little glue dot part down and I put my tree right here. So it looks just like that. And then I'm going ahead and I'm going to add my mousse. And I'm just using the liquid glue for my mousse. And if you get too much, because that happens sometimes, try to spread it out. If you can't spread it out, wipe it onto a piece of paper. Because if you don't, then it's gonna spread all over. And not that it doesn't dry clear. It's just, you know, it's just nicer if you don't have to have it from there. So there we go. So now we have our little mousse. Isn't it cute? Now I'm going to take our little Merry Moose Christmas, or Merry Christmoose, and I'm taking one Stampin' Dimensional and I'm putting it on the left-hand side, and then I'm just going to use a little bit of adhesive here. And let's remove this, and then we'll pick it up. And right about here, I end up putting that down. Yeah, so right about there. That looks cute, just like that. Oh, this is coming along so cute, guys. So now I'm taking some linen thread and I am going to fold it in half. So I have 2 pieces of thread here. And I'm just gonna, well, I'm just gonna cut a piece. I cut a piece about this. Let's see, how long did I cut this? About 18 inches. And then I'm gonna fold it in half. And I'm just doing a bow again. It's just going to make it double. So that's all. So it's gonna look kind of cool. And then I'm just pulling the threads back and forth till I get it to the size I want. And I do this, tighten it up, then I pull it again. I don't know, I think it gave it more of a country look by double threading it. So there we go. Then I'm going to snip it, kind of pull my threads down, pull this up a little bit. And I'll end up trimming this just to make them kind of even if they're uneven, and it doesn't need to be that big. And I'm going to put this right there. And I did that with a glue dot. So get a glue dot, kind of like fold it in half with your finger, like roll it a little bit. Then put your bow on there and pick it up. And then attach it right here. It looks like my threads are still a tad bit longer than I like them. So I'm going to trim them. Being careful not to catch the other one. Our lines that go down through. You don't want to do that. So that wouldn't be good. We'd have a big old mess. Let me get this thread out of the way. Okay. So we're done with the thread. And now I'm just going to add a couple little embellishments here on this. So I've got these, all the trimmings, embellishments. They look very, very white on here, but really they are kind of lighter after I put them down. I think they're really cute. So, and then I just kind of did, I do like the triangle method. If I'm going to put just 3 on, I try to form a triangle. That's at least that's what I think I'm doing. So anyways, and so that is the card, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you could leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, I would really, really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Bye-bye.